Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics magazine, and today we are going to react to Marco Jansen and Quinton de Kock's press conferences before the India match, which is a massive game that's going to be taking place in Kolkata. And it's going to kind of give us like you could say, look into the semi final, I would say, because I think we need to take these last two games seriously. And I think we need to take it as games where we prepare for that semi-final because it's looking highly likely that we're going to make that semi-final. Afghanistan obviously winning today and putting pressure onto that top four. Um, there's some massive games. There's Afghanistan versus Australia game that still needs to take place, which is going to be a massive game as well for that top four. Um, there are quite a few games coming up that are going to be very important games for some of those for some of those teams that are vying for the top four. But I think it's a practice time for South Africa to try and like prepare for their minds for that semi-final and take these last two games as knockout games. That's how I want to see them approach it ultimately. But we're going to see how Quinton de Kock and Marco Jansen feel ahead of this game by reacting to their press conferences. But before we get going, before we get started, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. First and foremost, subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos, please. I'd also like you guys to please subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is on the screen right now, as well as in the description. We did release our latest issue of the magazine. It is all about BMT and big match temperament. I thought it would be the right time now to publish a magazine about that, seeing that South Africa's edging closer. So please go and get your copy of it right now by subscribing and getting your free edition of that. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. If you guys want to show your support for what we do here at Cricket Fanatics Magazine, we need your support to stay alive. So please get involved with the Patreon account and become a patron today. We rely on your patronage to keep us going, the digital magazine, as well as this show. So if you want me to continue doing what I'm doing here, please get involved with the Patreon account. Smash the like button, comment, and share, and go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. Without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. I'm looking forward to discussing everything. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host Khalid Moeddin, and today we'll be discussing everything that happened in the press conferences that were released today to us. First one will be on Quinton de Kock, and then the second will be Marco Jansen. Let's get straight into it because it is two presses. We don't normally react to two. So let's get into it and see what both had to say. Um, let's hope that it is entertaining.
Ago, and we kind of mentioned your leadership role within the team and how you seem so determined to kind of do really well this tournament. And is that something you can talk to us a little bit about, just in terms of how you've approached this competition and how you see your own role in the team?
Yeah, I think it's just because it's probably my last one, so I'm just trying to give it my all. Just trying to help out everyone where I can. Who's ever going through experiences for their first time, which I've been through, be there to help the guys how to get through certain things from a mental point of view and strategically also. So I'm just there to help the guys. I'm just trying to give them my all for the last time.
Thanks for those.
Does seem that way.
And then tennis.
Thanks, Lucy. Hi, Quinny. Quinny, big one on Sunday at Eden Gardens. The scene is set beautifully for this game against India. How important is it for you guys as a team just to tune in mentally and just stick to what's been working and not, go further than that?
Yeah, I think I think that's what we've been focusing on every game since the first game. It's just on ourselves, just trying to be the best Proteas team we can be. Um, Obviously, we've got a big game on Sunday, and we'll sit down and do our usual process before every game. Go from a strategic point of view, have a look at the Indian team, and we'll find a way on how we can beat them. Obviously, they're a strong unit, so like you said, it is a big game.
Thanks, Quinny.
TNS, then Telford.
All right, Quinton. I was just wondering if now that you're going so well, has there been any thought from you maybe to make a U-turn and not retire? And I also want to know if anyone's asked you to maybe stick around a bit more, or are you set on your decision?
Yeah, I think I've set on my decision. Um, yeah, I think that's the end of my 50 over career. And yeah, there has been one or two words sent to me or said to me. Maybe I should think about it, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Thanks,
That's really sad.
TNS. We'll go Telford, and then just a reminder to just raise your hand in the chat panel if anybody else would like to.
I've always been a big fan of Quinton de Kock. First and foremost, it was AB de Villiers that I really liked as a player. It was Herschel Gibbs first, and then AB de Villiers, and then Quinton de Kock. That was actually um, my favorite player as a cricket fan. Um, and Aiden Markram is currently, like, as a cricket fan, that's one of my favorite players. It works a bit different when you were a journalist in the industry, because then you can't really have favorites. But now that I am uh, a cricket fan again, um, doing Cricket Fanatics magazine, etc., it does make it a bit difficult when you start getting to know these players and on off the field as well as on camera and talking to them regularly. Then it's difficult to pick favorites. But when I was still a 100% a cricket fan and not a journalist, those were my favorite players. So it is really sad to see Quinton de Kock retire from ODIs. It was very sad for me when he decided to call it quits in Test cricket as well, because I really used to enjoy watching him bat in that format as well.
To ask any additional questions.
Thanks, Lucy. How's it, Quinton? You've been part of a fair few South African World Cup efforts, and I just wonder what do you think makes this one different and so far more successful?
To be fair, I'm not actually too sure. I think it's just we're just playing really good cricket at the moment. I think we've been playing really good cricket for a while now as a team. I'm not too sure what it is, but it's whatever we're doing. Just stick to we know what we're doing, so just carry on doing it. Not look too far ahead. Take each game by game. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're just keeping things very simple. Not trying to overthink things. Not trying to reinvent the wheel. Just trying to do the simple things really good. I think that's probably maybe one of the key things. I think why we've been quite successful.
I think we can clearly see that they are taking it game by game, though, and sticking to their strengths. And another thing is that they've been quite lucky, I would say, and you need some luck to win major tournaments or to do well in major tournaments as well. So the thing is about it is we've had things fall into our favor with regards to us batting first in a hell of a lot of matches. So a lot of things have gone our way when it comes to this tournament so far, other than in the Netherlands game. So that is something that we need to take to consideration as well. But I think what they've done is focus on each game and doing what they do well, what they know they can do well. That is something that they focused on doing well. And they've executed it so far.
Thanks, Telford. For those then, tennis game.
Connie, you mentioned that your mind is kind of made up and people have asked you about continuing. Is your mind made up even though perhaps like we see South Africa kind of changed in that you could play league cricket and maybe still come back and play for the national team? And given that the next World Cup's at home, do you think in the interim years maybe something will change your mind?
At this point, I don't foresee it happening. But I mean, you never know. Strange things happen in life. It could be a possibility, but I don't think so. There's some good youngsters coming through anyway, who will probably take my spot as soon as I leave here, and they'll have to deal with the national duties at that stage. So I don't think I'll be coming through. But like I say, you never know.
Thanks for those. Tierners then, Zahir.
I don't understand why there were two questions asked about that, but okay.
Cup.
Sorry, guys, I fast forwarded.
But as a unit, we've batted really well. We take pride. Yeah, I feel like I'd rather win the World Cup.
Wait, sorry, guys.
How do you sort of see those individual 400s and those South African?
But like I say, you never know.
Sorry, guys.
Thanks for those. Tierners then, Zahir.
When you're now the South African batsman that's already scored the most runs in a single World Cup campaign, also 400s, and those South Africans done it before. Does those sort of things mean something to you? And how do you sort of are you very proud of those achievements, or how do you sort of see those individual milestones?
Yeah, I think honestly, personally, I feel like I'd rather win the World Cup and score no runs than score all the runs and not win a World Cup, to be fair. But as a unit, we've batted really well. We take pride in what we do as our profession. So, yeah, we start off really well. But like I said, we'd rather score no runs and win a World Cup. Obviously, the accolades are great, but at the end of the day, for myself, if I don't foresee us winning the trophy, then it kind of means nothing for me. So to me now, looking at the bigger picture of why we are.
Nice.
Zahir then, Stu.
Connie, I was going to just a doubler for me. Kumar Sankaros who scored 4 centuries in his last World Cup. Was he a wicketkeeper batter that you looked up to, or was there anybody else that you would have looked up to, wanting to be while you were coming through? And secondly, just a word on Rob Walter. What kind of a coach is he? Have you enjoyed him? Just what does he bring to your game that you particularly enjoy? Thanks, man.
Yeah, obviously I've always enjoyed Sanga growing up, and obviously playing with him. He's one of my good friends now also.
Yo, what a friend to
I
have.
wouldn't say I wanted to be like someone else other than myself. And that's pretty much it on that topic. But Rob's been great. I've absolutely loved playing under him. He's really made this environment be really fun, professional. He's given us, I don't know what he does, but he's just made us really enjoy our cricket. And he loves coaching the Proteas. He loves representing South Africa. He's just as passionate of a South African as he left for New Zealand as he is now. So he's just great. He's a great person. Loves to be around. He's got good values in life. So these are all just the characteristics that Rob carries himself, that just makes him a good coach.
Brilliant. That's nice to hear.
Great, thanks to hear. Stu then Hines, and then we'll look to wrap up with Tierners.
Thanks, Lucy. Hi, Quinton. Apologies for the noise in the background. Just on Timber, somebody that you go out with first time every time at the top of the order. He's maybe not had the amount of success that the rest of you guys have had as a batting unit. What's his kind of mental state been
Yeah, Quinny might have an answer to you guys.
Yeah, I think Timber's just has been batting really well. He's looked very solid up front. And then obviously he's somehow just found a way to keep getting out. But no, he's still feeling very good about his own game. Very confident. Timber always backs himself, which is a good thing and a good trait to have. So I think he's not phased. At least I hope he's not. It doesn't look like he is. But yeah, his last couple of innings, he's batted really well, but then found ways just to get out. So it's something that all of us batsmen have gone through in our careers at some point where we feel really good. But yeah, somehow find a way to get ourselves out. But yeah, he's you know, I got a feeling one or two of these games, especially an important game for us, I feel like that's when he's going to come through for us. That's Temba Bavuma in a package.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm laughing, but that is hilarious. That's like the worst thing that could possibly happen to Quinny while he's already doing something that he doesn't enjoy. Oh my lord. Yeah, but I agree with his assessment. Temba hasn't looked bad in the innings that he's played. He's just found ways to get out, and I've said this on previous shows. So we just need him to get some luck ultimately, so that he can get to that milestones. Because most batters, when they do hit major milestones, they have some luck on the way, and that helps them get there. So I'm hoping that Timba will get. The only bad thing about dropping Timba is the fact that you're missing out on a good captain as well. Um, you're not only dropping a batter, you're dropping a captain too. But I also understand, of course, um, I can also understand that, of course, people would like to see Riza in. But then what would happen if Riza fails then? Are we going to see this calling for Timba back into the side again? Because that should then happen if that is the case. But it won't. We know that it won't.
Hold on one moment. We've just had a ring at the door in this hotel room. So just 1 second. Thank you. Perfect. Please go ahead, Hyatt.
I didn't know that hotels have doorbells though. Hotel rooms. That's crazy.
You guys got pretty good clarity on how you want to function as a batting unit.
Can you please stop the audio?
Yourself, everybody, much of a influence. You know, the IPL is that South African fans. You know, not necessarily for the Prince. Is that also, you know, confidence in playing freely in these conditions?
And you broke up quite a bit there, so we didn't catch all of your question.
Sorry, you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Cool, man. Thanks. I was just actually wondering, just in terms of you guys have full confidence, you guys have clarity, you have, you have a game plan in hand, which has obviously helped you guys, be quite prolific in this tournament. I was just also wondering, just the vast experience that the majority of this top order have had, you know, in the IPL as well. You know, that's almost those chickens coming to roost as well. And how much of a factor that has been, you know, you believe, you know, in your guys' I almost want to say comfortableness, you know, in coping with and excelling in this.
Yeah, obviously, we've been coming here. A lot of us players have been coming here for years, not just for the IPL, but also for international series. Obviously, we kind of all understand the conditions here. So obviously, it's helped us knowing what we're dealing with. To be fair, a couple of the wickets that we've played on here have taken us by surprise in what they've done. Because we're used to playing different times of year, obviously with the IPL also, and with the weather around, conditions do change from like a dew point of view, how the wickets completely change. So there has been one or two surprises, which is perfectly normal in World Cups, what happens. But yeah, as a batting unit, I think we're well equipped to pretty much take on most conditions. And I think we take a lot of confidence from that because the series before we've really focused on upping our skills in all different departments on how we're going to play spin, how we're going to play fast bowling, how we're going to play sea movement. So yeah, I think it's all just coming together.
Someone's looking for Cody.
Perfect, thanks. I think that's Marco at the door, so apologies for that bell ringing again. So we're going to go Timus and then one last one from Fidos.
Quinny, India is looking quite dangerous at the moment. Just wondering if you have been able to sort of identify any weaknesses in their team that you might look to exploit, and maybe you can elaborate on that without giving too much secrets away.
To be fair, I don't think they have many weaknesses, if any, to be honest. I think that's why they're top of the log and they've won every game. So yeah, I mean, we'll sit down and chat about things, but from the top of my head, I don't foresee them having any weaknesses. You never know. Maybe a bad game can happen. Maybe that's the only thing, but I don't foresee it happening also. So I don't foresee any weaknesses, unfortunately.
Thanks. Fidos, Zahia, I see you have put your hand up, so we'll squeeze you in, and that is a final question before we go over to
Yes, Cody, funny guy.
Thanks, Lucy. Connie, just on India, I mean, when your career started, well, it might have been even 10 years ago now, that was like really how you made a name for yourself, you know, with those many centuries in a row against them. And now you're playing them in a big game, and it's their World Cup that they're hosting. And how special is it for you to play against India, and how do you feel about the sense of occasion of playing them at Eden Gardens?
To be honest, it's just another game of cricket, I guess. Every game now, especially counting down to my last couple of games, every game is special. So, yeah, I mean, I've played Eden Gardens quite a bit in my life. Obviously, playing India in India is going to be quite a spectacle. Obviously, they're gonna have every single fan in India at that stadium if they could, and we probably going to only have a handful. So it's just probably one of the more crazier things about our fixture on Sunday. But otherwise, it's just another game of cricket, I would say.
Thanks. Fidos, and lastly, Zahia, before we release Quinny.
Quinny, just on facing guys like Mohammad Siraj and Mohammad Shami, they obviously put you under a lot of pressure with your natural instinct to hit back. Is it a case of just taking the ego out of it and just absorbing pressure and allowing them to bowl good balls when they are in such spells, or you go and I'm taking you down, I'm coming straight back at you?
To be fair, it depends on the wickets. How we go about it, because usually in India, sometimes the new ball is probably the best time to score the runs, even though that's probably when they're most attacking. But obviously, if the ball's swinging around, doing something off the wicket, obviously you just need to soak up the pressure, bat for longer. So yeah, it's a thing that we'll have to assess, and then see how we go.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant answer from Quinny from that perspective. I think that's exactly what they need to do. Soak up the pressure. They're going to get swing. I think in Kolkata, they will get swing. So we need to soak up the pressure and try and bat deep. I mean, Quinny and Temba have a big game on their hands. They need to really step up and perform, both of them. We need them to lay a platform, the two of them. I want both of them to be batting at least minimum till the 15th over. And then if we lose a wicket at that stage, we still have the batters to be able to consolidate. But I feel Kolkata is going to play straight into India's hands with regards to their bowling attack. It's the best batting unit in the tournament so far versus the best bowling unit in the tournament so far. So it's going to be a hell of a match. So yeah, let's move on to Marco Jansen and what he had to say. I think this will be a little bit more of an entertaining, or I would say upbeat. Not much, because Marco is quite quiet as well.
Gerald, before you guys against this Indian team in India. How excited are you about the prospect of Sunday's game at Eden Gardens, which will be buzzing against the unbeaten host nation?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm nervous, but I think everyone will have a bit of nerves.
Honestly.
Yeah, it's just another pool game for us, I think. Until we know that we're going through to the semis and all those kind of stuff, then I think there would be definitely a lot more emphasis on how we perform and all that kind of stuff. But I think we just try and see this as another game. Even though it's going to be loud, everyone knows it's going to be loud. The crowd's going to be buzzing. Yeah, we just try and see each game as another game, and we just try and go out and do our thing, and go out and do what we've been practicing.
Thanks, Thanks, Morgan. Tauta, then Tienes.
This is Marco. I wonder, as a bowler, when you're coming up against a team who attack as much as India do, does that make you? How does that change the way you do things as a bowler, particularly with a new ball?
So the plan is not to change anything, but it definitely makes you think a lot more, especially when you're out there, when you have the ball in your hands, because you don't really know what they want to do or what they're going to do. So I think just for us, it's just like I said, just going out and do our thing, what we've been practicing, and then assessing conditions on the day. Obviously, reading the conditions is very important. So determining what ball is probably most effective, or what plan will be more effective to which guy, who's what batter, all those kind of stuff comes into play. But in general, we have not a set plan, but in general we have some sort of set plan to what we try and work towards, and we stick to that as long as we can, and then if needs be, then we change it.
Marco, please, and to the Proteas team, please do not overthink things. I know India's playing brilliantly. We know that they're playing in their home ground. There are weaknesses to their game. I think that they should just bowl good lengths and keep the consistency and the pressure on. It would be easier to put pressure on India because then the crowd is going to react, because everybody is supporting them and you will be able to hear it. So I think they need to try and create as many dot ball opportunities as possible against India and frustrate them, particularly when Rohit Sharma's at the crease. And I think they to utilize their spin correctly. I think two spinners would be brilliant. I think someone like Shamsi can really put pressure on a guy like Virat Kohli. He needs to take some belief into this game I've already dismissed Virat Kohli in his career, Marco. So I think this is something that they shouldn't overthink it too much. If they start to overthink it, I feel that they're not going to execute their plans correctly. So they just need to remain calm and stick to their plans. They need to make sure that they understand which lengths to bowl to which batters, yes. And I think that's the type of preparation that they've done. But just don't overthink it too much. Put the ball in the right areas, play to the conditions, and we'll make it difficult. Just make it difficult for India, and the pressure will start to pile on them.
Thanks. We're going to go tennis in for those.
I was Marco. The fact that this game's not a knockout game, and there's actually not so much riding on it because it's yourself and India are probably already in the semi. Does that sort of free you guys up to play with more freedom, or do you think it'll be the same if it was a knockout game or not?
I think to be honest, all the games we've played up until this point, almost it was sort of we sort of saw it as knockout games, because we know and we knew from the start that to get through or to get to the top four, you have to win majority of your games. So So it's not to that it's not from the one extreme to the one. It's more like we try and put it in the middle, if that makes sense. Because if you go too far this side, in terms of seeing it as a playoff, then I can only speak for myself. Then I get very nervous and jittery, and then you start thinking thoughts that you probably not supposed to think, and that could affect your the way you play. And also on the other side, if you're too relaxed, then you sometimes, or well, for myself, I get caught off guard. So you try and like always go into a game somewhere in the middle, so where you're up for it and where you know that you're putting yourself in a position to go out and do your best. But we from the start of this tournament, we knew that we had to win majority of the games to get through to the top four, and that's the plan and that's the goal that we've set. So every time we go out on the park, it doesn't really matter who we play against. We want to win, and because we know it's going to be, we knew it was going to be difficult to get into that top four spots.
I feel like Marco is talking a little bit too much. I think he's so nervous. He seems very nervous today, guys, for this game. I hope that doesn't. I hope that there's enough time for him to get over that. I've been asking, can we beat India? I say yes, we can. Um, Lorenzo has an answer for you as well. Of course, we can beat India, but we need to be at our supreme best if we were to beat them. We need to be clinical both halves of the game. We need to be good in the field. We need to we need to just stay focused and stay true to what we are doing. No demons. SA will have to believe in themselves and beat India. Protests could beat them, but however, the result don't want a boring one-sided one. Yeah, we want to see a fight from both from South Africa.
Thanks. We're going to go for those things here.
Listen, Marco, you just spoke about kind of dealing with nerves and kind of the emotional side of playing at a tournament like this. How do you deal with it? Is there like particular practices you put into place, or just what is the mental work that goes into this game and potentially the knockouts?
Like I said, I try and find that middle ground, because I think quite a lot if you know me.
Yep.
So like the players, they know me quite well, so they know Marco likes to think. So I just try and, so normally what I'll do is I'll just be in my room. Oh, so my old man is here, so I'll probably spend a bit of time with him because he knows how to calm me down, and then
Oh, that's brilliant.
I'll just be in my room. Actually, I'll actually try and not do much, if that makes sense, because if I do too much, then I'll start thinking, and then my mind goes all over the place. So I just try and, so whether I watch Netflix or whether I watch a sermon, it doesn't really matter, as long as I do something that calms me down a bit and just makes me relax.
Yeah, guys, he's nervous. Marco, you can do this, bro. Don't be over nervous. But I hope he'll calm down by tomorrow. I mean, he has a day to get over it. But I know what that feels like. It's not it's a crazy feeling to have.
Thanks for those. So here then tennis and then Talbot.
Marco Asman, my question is the direct opposite. You seem to be quite aggressive on the field. The celebration there, just on the your battles with India in the past. I mean, that has brought out a little bit of a fire in you. Does it actually get you going though? When you get involved in those type of little bit of just, for want of a better word, scraps on the field, does that get you actually fired up and get you to control that tension, to control that nerves?
Yeah, it's a difficult one, because sometimes because I found myself a lot of times where, like, in the quote unquote scrap or whatever, then it actually gets the best of you. So you get too emotional, and then you don't make good decisions. So for me, whenever that happens, I always try and remind myself, like, what do I need to do? What's the plan here? What will be the best ball to bowl, or what will be the best shot to play against this guy, or whatever the case may be. I definitely don't go out looking for it. It just happens. So like the celebrations, like normally I'm actually quite chilled. I just do this, and then that's pretty much my celebration. Where the last few games, I don't know, it just comes out when I get it just came out when I got a wicket. It's not something I plan. It just happens.
Thanks, Zakia. I see Tennis's hand has gone down, so we'll go Telford.
Marco, can you tell us about the leg slip? Is that we saw you get Joe Root out that way? Is that a thing that happens because of what the pitch is doing, or the ball swinging through the air, or the batter of the situation? How did you decide to put in a leg slip?
It's a bit of all of them. I wouldn't say the batter, but it was just because we played in Mumbai, so there was a bit of swing and a bit of bounce.
Don't say too much, Marco. Don't say too much.
Yeah, and we were just trying to be a bit creative. We didn't speak a lot about it, but we just basically said if the ball is not going to go to first slip, rather have a second slip and use that fielder somewhere else. And that's one of the places where we decided to put the guy, and luckily it paid off. The plan was just to bowl nice and straight and hit the stumps with the ball swinging back. You never plan to get a guy out like that. It happens or it doesn't. It's more to play a bit with the batter's head in terms of what we want to do. So yeah.
Great. I see Tennis's hand is back up, and then if you can just give me a moment. Sorry, I just got to come across.
Yeah, they were very brave to put him up today for the presser, I think. Like, with him feeling the way he's feeling, and then he has to ask these journalist questions. I mean, respect to Marco.
Okay, perfect. So we'll go Tennis and Neil.
Mark, I just want to know, you've been by far the most successful bowler in the power play at this World Cup. What's been key to that?
I would say preparation, definitely. Eric has helped us bowlers a lot in terms of like accuracy and what we want to do, and being specific to what we want to do whenever we bowl. So each bowler, we know what our plans are and what the goal is wherever we bowl. So with the new ball, for me, it's just try and swing it as much as I can, and if it doesn't swing, then adapt accordingly. Also just having a very aggressive mindset, especially with the new ball, because the batters are not under pressure, but they just came to the wicket, so they still need to get used to conditions and all those type of things. So we're reading the conditions, they must read the conditions. So if you, in the first few balls, put the ball in the right area, you have a really good chance to get a guy out. So just having a nice aggressive mindset, a wicket-taking mindset, I would say. And yeah, just going and backing your skills and putting the ball in the right area.
Great. We're going to take the last three questions. So we're going to go Neil, here, and then look to wrap with Morgan.
My question was along the same lines to Tinus's, but there was a lot of talk amongst other teams about the importance of wickets in the power play. You talked about how you can get them, but did you talk in your team about how much of a difference it would make if you could take wickets regularly in the first 10 overs?
Yeah, I think it's a talking point for all teams, to be honest, because I was here when Quinny spoke about the new ball. Like, as a batter, it's either it's sometimes where you can score the most runs, but also a time where you can get yourself out if you don't manage it well. So, and that's where reading the conditions is very important, because some stadiums or some places like Mumbai, for example, the ball swings a lot at night, where in daytime it doesn't swing as much, where other places and and see you still have to go and do the job. But yeah, for me, it's just, I think the important thing is just to have a wicket-taking mindset. Because whether you take 2 wickets in the power play or whether you take 4 by the time the 20th over is done, it's just all about taking wickets. It helps if you take early up front, but the more wickets you take, the more chances you get to bowl teams out, and that's the goal. Because so with the new ball, if the ball's swinging, the seamers are very much in play, and then once the ball gets a bit older and if it spins, then the spinners come into play. So the batters always have to think, and bowlers also have to think, because sometimes the ball doesn't turn, the ball doesn't swing. So it's like a back and forth game, if I can say it like that. But it definitely helps if you can take 1 or 2 wickets up front, because it puts the batting team under a lot of pressure.
Thanks, Neil. So here then Morgan.
How's market? Again, in reverse, obviously, when you take wickets up front, you don't have set batters at the back end, certainly putting you under pressure. Looking ahead to a semi-final, would you guys mind just to be under that top, try to defend the total with the set batter in those last 10, just to as much as you do in practice, to actually do it in a game where you actually have to defend a certain amount in that final 10, looking ahead at the semis as a bowling collective, not just you.
Yeah, we've actually spoken about it once or twice. So
Don't
we're
give too much
definitely
away.
prepping for that, because we know we've either we won by 1 wicket, or we've won by a lot, or we lost by 30 runs or whatever. So we haven't really been put under pressure regarding the death overs, but we definitely we've been preparing for that, and we've been on it in that regard, if it makes sense. So even though we haven't been tested a lot, we're definitely doing the work, and we're doing the prep behind the scenes.
Thanks, Marco.
Thanks, Zakia. And then lastly, Morgan.
Marco, just slightly off the World Cup. Growing up, did you and Duan ever have dreams of opening a bowling for South Africa together? Off the top
Of course
of
I
my
did.
head, I don't think it's ever happened in world cricket, especially left-arm seamers. And is it perhaps still a dream going forward?
Yeah, 100%. We've dreamt a lot of things that we wanted to do together, to be honest. But yeah, that's definitely still a dream. Yeah, I don't want to elaborate too much, but it's just my brother and I, we've worked so hard together most of our lives that so whenever I don't do well, he feels it, if that makes sense. And whenever he doesn't do well, I feel it 100%. So even though I'm sitting here in India, I've watched 80% of his one-day games back home. I've watched the final, which they didn't do as well as they wanted to, but which is fine. But it's definitely one dream that we would want to make a reality. There's already one dream that's made a reality, and that's to play in the IPL, both of us, which is very, very nice. And yeah, definitely, I think that the top dream is definitely to play together for our country.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, we're working on it. It's just a case of both of us need to be at the right place at the right time, and then hopefully one day we can do that.
And that's the crazy thing about this whole thing. A lot of people spoke about Duan as being the more talented out of the two. When they were playing in the Kaimajolo Week tournament, Duan was looking fantastic. And I think that is something that was crazy. But from that perspective, when he got injured in that Kaimajolo Week, it really caused problems, because it set back Duan a couple of years, and then Marco was just in the right place at the right time and got the opportunity and took it. And they soared. You guys should go back. You guys need to go back and go watch my on lockdown episode with the both of them. I brought them both on the show and chatted to them to get some insight into both of their stories. And having them both on camera was phenomenal to be able to experience that. And I think that's something that you guys should go back and watch, because you get a lot of understanding about their character and about their mentality, etc. From that. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know I didn't get into too many comments, but we will do a preview show hopefully tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna try to do it like tomorrow morning, the preview, around about 10 o'clock, so that you guys will be able to watch before you get your days started, etc. So try and join me the morning to for our preview of the game ahead of the India game. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to obviously subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell for future videos, download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics Magazine Monthly. The latest issue is out now, so subscribe. It's all about BMT. Smash the like button. Support us and keep things going here at Cricket Fanatics by becoming a patron today. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. All the links are in the description. And then go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. Guys, thanks a lot for being active in the live chat. Thanks, Lawrence. Yeah, and yeah, I'll see you guys again tomorrow with a preview show. I'm gonna try to do it tomorrow morning, either between 9 and 10 o'clock. So stay tuned and put on your notification bells to get the notification on when we do go live. Thanks a lot, everyone, and I'll see. Have a great weekend and have a great evening. Peace out.